안녕하세요, 진쌤입니다. Hello, welcome back to JINSAM'S KIIP It Up. And we are still on Unit 12 of Level 3, 중급 1. And this is a second grammar point, verb 게 되다. Let's get started. So this grammar, it's used in a couple other situations. One, it's when the situation or the status is changed. Okay? Or get a certain result or get to a certain point by external influence. So 뭐뭐 하게 되다, it's not because you want to. So there is other factors that makes that situation happen, that the status changing. Okay? So for example, 장사가 안 돼서 가게 문을 닫게 되었다. It is not that I want to close the business. So 갖게 되었다. So 장사가 안 돼서 because we are running out of the business. 가게 문을 닫게 되었다. It ended up we closed our store door. That's a direct translation, which means like we closed our business. So 장사가 안 되다, no matter how hard you try, there's something that you can't control, right? So 닫게 되었다. And second one, 이번에 새로운 회사에 들어가게 되어서 정말 기쁘다. So this time, because I ended up going to a new company. So I'm going to get a job at a new company. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. In this situation, it's the situation status changed, like first one. But this one, it's more of the get a certain results by the external influence. Okay, so here the conjugation is really simple. All you need to do is add 게 되다 to the verb stem. So let's do the exercise. 보기와 같이 문장을 바꾸세요. So 게 되었다. So normally 게 되다 is used in the past tense because it already happened. So because of this, it ended up changing this. The situation status changed. Okay, so 게 되다. A lot of times use past tense. 게 되었다. Okay, verb 게 되었다. So 잘하다, do well, 잘하게 되었다. Right? 보다, 보게 되었다. 입원하다. So 입원하다, it's the expressions to be in the hospital. You end up being in the hospital. So 입원하게 되었다. 받다, 받게 되었다. 살다, 살게 되었다. 못 가다, 못 가게 되었다. That's the conjugation. So 한국어 수업을 듣고 한국말을 잘하게 되었다. So 한국어 수업을 듣다, taking Korean classes, 한국말을 잘하게 되었다. Your status is changed. Your situation is changed. After taking Korean class, I become fluent in Korean. So I become good at speaking Korean. Number one, 친구가 연극표를 줘서 연극을 보게 되었다. So because my friend gave me the ticket for the play. So 연극 is a play. 연극표를 줘서 연극을 보게 되었다. So I ended up watch the play. 연극을 보게 되었다. So there is other factors, right? So 지난주에 다리를 다쳐서 last week, because last week I hurt my leg. So I ended up being in the hospital. 병원에 입원하게 되었다. So this one, the external influence, by that you get to a certain situation. Number 3, 이번 학기에 성적이 많이 올라서 장학금을 받게 되었다. So this semester 성적이 많이 오르다. 성적 it's a grade. So 성적이 많이 올라서 which means I got a higher grade to get a better. My grade went up. So my grade went up. So 장학금을 받게 되었다. I ended up getting a scholarship. Right? So situation status changed. 한국 회사에 취직을 해서 한국에 살게 되었다. Because I got a job at a Korean company. Because of this, 한국에 살게 되었다. I ended up living in Korea. 살게 되었다. Situation changed. 자, 갑자기 제주도에 눈이 많이 와서 여행을 못 가게 되었다. All of a sudden, 제주도에 눈이 많이 와서 it got a lot of snow in Jeju. 여행을 못 가게 되었다. Because of the other factors that you can't control, it ended up getting to a certain situation. 여행을 못 가게 되었다. I ended up not being able to go on a trip. So hopefully you can get the concept of using 게 되다. Alright, so let's do one more exercise. 자, 보기와 같이 문장을 완성하세요. So here, 결혼 전, 결혼 후. Okay, 어렸을 때, when I was young, 취업 후, after getting a job. So 결혼 전 부모님과 이야기를 안 하다. So before getting married, I don't talk my parents. But 결혼 후, after getting married, 부모님과 이야기를 자주 하다. I talk to my parents a lot, often. Okay, so situation changes it, right? So 결혼 전에 부모님과 이야기를 잘 안 했는데 결혼 후에는 이야기를 자주 하게 됐어요. So here, so all this one, we're going to use the past tense. Okay? So 결혼 전 안 했는데, right? So before getting married, I didn't talk to my parents much, but the situation changed. After getting married, I get to talk to my parents a lot more. And number 2. 자, 한국에 오기 전, before coming to Korea, 한국 문화를 잘 모르다. Don't know much about Korean culture. 한국에 온 후, after coming to Korea, 한국 문화를 잘 알다. Oh, I get to know the Korean culture well. And I skip number 1. We go back to that. So number 2. 자, 한국에 오기 전에는 before coming to Korea, 한국 문화를 잘 past tense 모르다 몰랐는데 한국에 온 후에는 after coming to Korea, 한국 문화를 잘 알게 됐어요. So the situation changed, right? After coming to Korea, I ended up getting to know the Korean culture well. And number 1, 어렸을 때, when I was young, 뉴스를 안 보다. I don't watch the news. 취업 후, after getting a job, 뉴스를 자주 보다. Watch the news often. So, past tense, 안 봤는데, 취업 후에는 after getting a job, 뉴스를 자주 보게 됐어요. I ended up watching the news more often. So the situation changed. 자, 작년까지 until last year 요리를 잘 못하다. Can't cook that well. 요리를 배운 후 after learning how to cook 요리를 잘 하다. I'm good at cooking. So 작년까지 요리를 잘 past tense 못 했는데 until last year I didn't do a good job on cooking. 요리를 배운 후에는 after learn how to cook 요리를 잘 하게 됐어요. So, the situation changed. I become good at cooking. 자, 한국어를 배우기 전, before learning Korean, 한국어 책을 안 읽다. Don't read the Korean book. 한국어를 배운 후, after learning Korean, 한국어 책을 읽다. Read Korean book. So, put it together as a sentence. 한국어를 배우기 전에는, before I learned Korean, 자, 잘 안 읽다, past tense, 안 읽었는데. So here we are conjugating with 는데, okay? With the verb. 자, 안 읽다, 안 읽었는데. 한국어를 배운 후에는 after learning Korean, 한국어 책을 읽게 됐어요. I ended up reading Korean book. So your status changed. So before you didn't, but after, your situation changed. 읽게 됐어요. So this part, the verb, it's a past tense, at, had, and then conjugate with the verb 는데 together. Okay? Alright, that it's all. So don't give up and keep it up. Fighting!